And we are back here. It's a friendly neighborhood film. We are football. I'm your humble host, Brandon. I got my man, 100 grand with me. Set it off, Chris, with me. Chris,
Yeah, man.
I had to get into character today, Chris.
Mm.
I had to fit a whole different persona today, Chris.
Mm. Okay.
Because if you remember, 2 weeks ago, them people was talking about, oh, it's just the Raiders.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
people were talking about, 2 weeks ago, it's just the Raiders.
Right.
Yeah. And then we whooped up on the bird people. Chris, we whooped up on the bird people.
Oh my God.
About, it's just the Eagles.
It's your Super Bowl. Or it's your Super Bowl.
That's your Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Now, Chris, we whooped up on Pat and them. We whooped up on Pat and them peoples. You know what I'm saying? And now what they gonna say, Chris? What are they gonna say, Chris?
Hey, I'm speechless. I'm speechless right now because you're super duper animated and it's as you should be. As you should be. You know, you turn around. Yeah, as you should be. You know, we were supposed to get together on Friday. We could have kicked off into the algorithm a little bit different. But you know, because life is life, and then we're getting together right now.
One thing I can say though, Chris.
What's up?
Shorts from our last video.
Didn't. But that's good. I'm
talking about less than 24 hours, Chris. Our shorts had over 1,000 views a piece, though.
That just goes to people checking in on us, starting to we starting to put out better and better content. So that's a good vibe for us. But I think talking about this game, what we usually do, man, is that we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the game. Okay. Let's not, hold people up too long. It's a Saturday night. Some people watch the rivalry games in college football, but we definitely want them to come kick it with us for a few minutes.
And we appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you. We definitely appreciate y'all.
Regardless of any persona that I get into, we appreciate y'all.
Right. We definitely appreciate it. But let's look at the good. I'm going to use my good this week, man. I'm going to continue to echo my good as being the Dallas Cowboys defense. The Dallas Cowboys defense turned around and put out another stellar performance. I'm gonna tell you how good our defense was. If you had told me coming into this game that Patrick Mahomes would go 23 of 34,
oh my goodness,
261 yards, 4 TDs, and a passer rating of 129.7, I would have thought we got the doors blown off of us. And in total honesty, the Dallas Cowboys came and started dominating this game, even after falling behind 7-0. Even after it started looking a little bit shaky in the process, this was a dominating performance, having 3 sacks on Patrick Mahomes, and just continuing their steady climb to going from where we had them. We had them as the 35th best defense in football.
Yeah. Hey, look.
we had 2 college teams and a high school team better than them on defense. For them now to be the as of last week, the 22nd best defense of all of football. And what we basically said is, hey, if you put halfway decent defense in place, they can make hay. And by daggum,
exactly what we did. That is exactly what we did, Chris.
Right. And it's just continuing to get better. So hats off, man, and for continuously putting the pressure on Jerry Jones. And for them going and getting players, man, that can fit Matt Eberflus's defense. Defense was amazing. That's my good.
I gotta agree with you, Chris. I have to agree with you because I feel like the defense has been revamped over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
From a defense that was, in my opinion, the 48th worst defense in the league.
40. So you had a couple more colleges, and maybe you might have had a J. Yeah, you had a varsity JV high school defense better. That's what you was on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Georgia's defense was probably better than the Cowboys' defense from the first, 8 or 9 games of this year.
I got you.
But when this defense revamped itself coming out of this bye week, man, sure they had the Chiefs coming out to a quick start when they were 7-0 off of a interception.
Right.
But Chris, over the last 3 weeks, this defense has shown out, man. And
Yeah,
yes, it was against the Raiders. Yes, it was against the Eagles, who it turns out don't really have an offense and a quarterback. But Chris, you
yeah.
can't do nothing when this defense is against Pat Mahomes and them Chiefs.
Not, not no.
Pat Mahomes is the guy that they've been saying might be the second best quarterback of all time. Chris, this defense went against that dude.
Yeah, and played him extremely well. I mean, Patty made some plays that are good, just Patty.
He did.
And I mean, like I said, his passer rating was 129. Most time, if you have a 129 passer rating, you have 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. I
You
mean, it
are
was just to the point. Yeah,
you are
you have dialed up. You have been everything that team needed, and this game got to the point where they had this game handily, in hand into the second half. That even though when they scored that last touchdown, they got the football back. You were fully comfortable with Ryan Dakota Prescott with 4 minutes and be able to kill the clock.
Yeah,
That was
absolutely.
that was what I. But the defense did an excellent job of keeping those guys intact. Down 14-7 at the end of the first quarter, and after that, man, they just went on just went in just was steady for the rest of the game.
Yeah. And so Chris, remember when we did our video, featuring, the friend of the show, our
Right.
dog, Big Game
Right.
James,
Yeah.
we talked about things that the Chiefs could do to really, really put pressure on this Cowboys defense. And one of those things was Pat Mahomes using his legs.
Right.
Chris, Pat definitely did get a little what is it? Sticky.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He avoided some sacks. He moved out of the pocket some certain ways. He kept things going. But even when it got to the point where you felt like he had to go pull some magic out of his hat, a lot of those throws he was doing no looks. One time he scrambled and found the only guy available downfield to throw the ball to him. So he did a lot of really good things to make this thing go. But right now, man, I sat back and looked at that game, and I felt totally comfortable with what the defense was doing, how they were getting pressure, how they were covering up, and things of that nature. I never felt like they were just to the point of getting shredded. They made the Chiefs work for all 28 of those points, and that's a great situation.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. But even outside of the defense, man, the Cowboys once again never gave up. Like,
Yeah.
if you think about it, when after Dak Prescott gave up, that interception, which it was one of those things that kind of, just like the Eagles game, made your heart drop a little early. He was in full command of the rest of that game. He was in full command of the rest of that game because he went out and then had a 300+ yard game with 2 tuds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. And then more importantly, after that, didn't have any more turnovers.
No, he was. He played. Listen, he played lights out after that one mistake. But that just goes to show, at the end of the day, he's human. But he's able to bounce back, and the team doesn't lose heart. They don't ever look like whenever they make that one mistake that they're like totally bewildered or out of it or have that deer in the headlights look. They just turned around and said, okay, we made this mistake. It's still early. We got plenty of time to play, make that up. And they basically, in a nutshell, walked down another team the week before, 21 points, they walked the Eagles down by 21 and then turned around this week and walked down the Chiefs by 14, which just shows you this is a team that's moving in the mindset of a playoff caliber football team.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And as much as I want to say the Cowboys, I'm gonna actually change, Chris. I'm gonna change because here's the thing, Chris. Like I told you behind the scenes and on this show a few times live, Chris. My brother is a Chiefs fan, and not like a bandwagon Chiefs fan.
Yeah,
he's been a Chiefs fan since like the Trent Green days when they really weren't that good.
Gotcha.
And so for the past 2 days, Chris, he's been avoiding me. Chris, and that don't make me feel good.
That's a holiday season. You can't be avoiding family, man.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So I'm gonna change my good because I want to put something different in the game than you do, Chris. My good has to go to Dak Prescott, Chris.
Okay, that's good.
In a game where you could have just as easily seen that deer in the headlights look, after the Chiefs got up on us.
Yeah,
Didn't they get up 2 scores at a certain point?
it was 14-0. It was 14-0.
Yeah,
It was 14-0. People were trying to figure out. Listen, this ain't. I had our homeboys. We got a group chat. Oh, this ain't the Raiders. Oh man,
yeah,
we gotta tighten up, man. Things about to get away, and they just never faltered, man. They
exactly.
never faltered. You know.
Exactly. So I think that really has to go and speak to Dak Prescott's command of this offense.
Got you.
He,
Yeah.
you don't you not a single time this year, even on our worst game to the Bears, you never saw Dak have that shell shocked deer in the headlights look.
Right. I mean,
So
you.
I have to give if I had a game ball, my name
Mhm.
was Jones, and I couldn't get fired, I would give the game ball to Dak Prescott, Chris.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, 27 for 39, a few too many passes than I like for him to throw. 320 yards,
Yep.
2 touchdowns, had the one interception, 100%, passer rating,
Mhm.
total command of the football game, like we've been saying.
Yep.
Got the ball out timely throws, had a rushing touchdown. Hadn't seen him do that. I always love to see him do that and move around and get after it. So it's what well yeah it's one of those things when rain is being rain. When rain is being rain, he didn't have a rushing touchdown, but he did get out and move around a little bit. But he showed us that he still had the wheels that I needed when he needed to do certain things. So another stellar performance for him, back on track to his MVP level type season.
Yeah, yeah. But before I talk about that MVP-esque performance on top of the others, you know,
Hmm.
Chris, like one thing that you always talk about is like how guys perform in their second year after their injury, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Dak is now 2 years removed from that drastic injury that he had. You know, he had the broken leg, then he started going off in 2023, then he had the light injury in 2024. Now 2 full years removed from that catastrophic leg injury, if I recall correctly.
yeah. I mean, he turned around and he had the one where he had the Tyler Smith uh the he had the issue where he had the hamstring come off. That's what he had last year. He had the hamstring come off the bone,
I'm talking.
which
I'm
is
talking about. I'm talking about the injury that he had, and I think it was 2022.
oh you talking about with his leg?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, he's well removed from that. I think he's well removed from that. But the thing about it that's always been the thing with Rain is that he'll get these kind of injuries that are kind of nagging. Like he turned around and had his hand when he had his hand hurt, and he broke the fingers on his hand. But then last year when he had the hamstring injury, he's looking he kind of transformed his body to say the least. Got a little bit, got cut his weight down and things of that nature. But I
So.
think I think what he's showing you now is I've been in the league for so long.
Mhm,
There aren't too many things that fool me
mhm.
that I haven't seen that I get caught out there. Even though Spagnola was going to give him a lot of different looks, a lot of different blitzes.
Yeah.
I come in shoddy for changing the offense, moving the pocket, giving him more time in certain areas so he could do certain things. So great situation for him in that sense. Um, so just a stellar performance by Rain. He has been showing these 3 games. This was the time where we were talking about Calvary was on the way and we needed to see certain things happen. I think getting the warm-up game with the Raiders, beating Philadelphia, and then you're starting moving to these next couple of games that you have to win, which you got to win all of them to get to the point where you can get to your playoff scenario. So
Mhm.
you've got 2 of the 4. I think the 2 of these 4 that you needed to get out the way. So but this was the most impressive. You beat both teams that were in the Super Bowl last year. You
In
beat the
4 days.
defenders.
In
Yeah,
four
4 days.
days,
Yeah,
Chris.
you beat them. You beat both of them in 4 days. You just put on a stellar performance. Shadi is starting to hit his stride in
Yeah.
certain things. Still want to tweak some things, and we'll talk about that in my ugly. But just a great performance by this football team on Thanksgiving Day.
Absolutely. And Chris, like I said, My brother been a Chiefs fan for a long time, but then
Right.
on top of that, you got just those family members that just root against the Cowboys no matter
Oh
what.
yeah, that's what makes the Cowboys great.
Absolutely. But so Chris, when it turns out, and this is one of those tweets that get like deleted type thing, when it turns out that George Pickens posted a picture of Pat Mahomes' wife and stuff like that.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, he did that. He did that.
oh,
Like
oh.
at that point, like I had cousins and stuff like that over our time, but we were supposed to be thankful, Chris.
Yeah. They was talking trash.
Yeah, then say things like, "Oh, he shouldn't have did that." Now the Chiefs about to put something tough on him.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm glad that I wore the shiesty today because Chris, I'm about to get back into character. George Pickens came out there and did exactly what he needed to do.
Okay.
Do you remember last week when people talked about like CeeDee Lamb having like a large amount of targets, but then not getting that many catches and things like that?
Right.
George Pickens drew the exact amount of attention that he needed, Chris.
Yeah.
He went out there and not just grabbed the attention, but then was still doing all of the stuff that he needed to do. George Pickens went out there. At this point, I feel like people know that Pickens is going to run the slant. But what can they do to stop it?
Yes, it's dang near unguardable. Most people say, what does he do great? He only has a handful of routes that he runs really, really well.
Four routes.
Yeah, he's got 4 routes.
Four.
He's gonna have the straight 9 route where he runs straight up the field.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get the crosser. He's great at that. He's gonna get the curl, come back because of the big body. But his go-to, his stellar move, the route that he runs better than anything else he runs is the slant route, and it's damn near unguardable.
And what can you do about it? What can you do to stop it?
I mean, really not. Yeah. Such a big body. He's going to play you off, for certain things. But once he gets that big body in front of you, and because Rain is so accurate, he puts it straight on him. It makes it to the point. It makes it almost impossible to stop.
Absolutely. And it was like at the end of the game, Chris, people knew that George was going to run the crosser route.
Yeah, they knew it was coming.
And the thing that I love about it, like, it was years ago when teams would be able to, like, okay, you know what we're gonna do. What can you do? Like, just do something about it. And teams could do nothing about it. Like, the last team that I can really think was like that was like the Sean Alexander Seahawks.
Right, when they were running the ball really, really effective.
We weren't in power zero. What can you do about it? And so, Chris, this brings back that type of feeling to me.
Absolutely, but it also brings you back to with the Cowboys back in the day, going back as far as Michael Irvin. Hey, it's 3rd and 8. I'm gonna run the bang 8. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna turn. Troy gonna put it right on me. Nothing you can do about it. When Romo and Dez were on their tear, they were to the point they were, doing that thing of, hey, we're gonna go up and we're gonna throw this back shoulder, and what are you gonna do about it? And it was just to the point it was unstoppable. Rain and George are on that same symmetry right now, of being able to get the ball where they want to, how they want to, and going the direction they got to go. That's how it is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And the reason I bring up George is because if you look at his stat line, where he had 6 receptions, but at the same time he had 11 targets.
He had 13. He had 6. Yeah, he ended up yesterday on Thursday. He had 6 receptions on 13 targets. He had 88 yards.
Excuse me for my incorrect line. Look at the comparison between that this week and what CeeDee Lamb had last week.
Right.
So last week had 11 targets. But then you look at CeeDee Lamb this week, and he's the one that went off. Chris, remember when we talked about the good and the bad and the ugly versus the versus the Eagles? We whooped up on them both. It's easy to get that confused. We whooped up on both. So the good, the bad, and the ugly versus the Eagles, where CeeDee Lamb had 4 receptions on 11 targets. Look at this week where CeeDee Lamb had 7 receptions on, I think it was 9 targets for 112 and a ton. So Chris, for the people that were talking about how, okay, George Pickens is better than CD, we need to get rid of CD, blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. This week it was Lamb that went off.
I mean, but that's Cowboy Nation and Cowboy fans, turn around and eating their own, which is crazy, Good shout out, my man. Yeah, it was yummy. It was definitely a delicious day. Thanks for coming kicking with us, bro. And but the thing about it was that's how we eat our own. We turn around and the moment that somebody's doing a great job, we
Yeah,
want to figure out a way to say, oh, he's better than this. Whereas in that locker room, they understand one day I'm gonna eat, one day you gonna eat. But here's the crazy part. I think they're both on pace to have 1,000 yard seasons,
I
which
love
is
it.
insane. Which
I
is
love
insane. You know what I'm saying? So hey, it is what it is.
it. Hmm.
And but it's gonna be, like CD right now has 744 yards. And I
Hmm.
think let me see what GP got for the year. GP's
He's
got
over 1,000 now.
huh?
He now has his career high in yards.
So he's got over 1,000.
Yep.
CD's at 744. So you probably can end up with a 1,500 and a 1,200 yard wide receiver core, which
Isn't
is
that crazy?
insane. That's crazy, bro.
George Pickens right now got 1,142 yards. I got it memorized, Chris, and 8 tuds.
So you turn around if he goes 1,500, yeah, and you still got we got what six with 12. We still got 5 games left. So with 5 games left, he
Yeah.
can go over 1,500, 1,600 yards. CD can go be at
He,
1,300 yards because he can get another 400, 500. So if
yeah.
you had that, dude, there's no doubt that you can't have probably the most prolific and dynamic wide receiving core in the NFL and make a deep run. But we're gonna stay on our course with our good, the bad, the ugly. My
Yeah.
problem is
Because
my other
I would get on my pay George Pickens
yeah,
train real quick.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's
We
that
have
that's
to stay focused. We have to
yeah,
stay.
we gotta stay on track. My
Mhm.
bad is my run game, and my distribution of carries.
There we
My
go.
ba- yeah,
There we go.
my distribution of carries. I think when we were talking with Big Game James on, I think it was Tuesday or on Wednesday,
Yeah.
we were wanting to have the distribution of 15 to 16 going to Javonte Williams. Well, you can start to see in Javonte Williams' game, if you look at the stats, you're starting to see him dwindle. I think he was at 3.5 yards to carry this past game, but you
Mhm.
only got 3 rushes from um, each of the other running backs.
Yeah.
You got 3 rushes from Hunter Lemke. You got 3 rushes from Malik Davis, which
Yeah.
he had a great. Malik Davis is such
We
a
even got
uh,
3 rushes from Cavante Turpin.
right. But Malik Davis is such a great story.
Mhm.
Being that the guy was sitting on the couch, waiting at home, had to maybe had to push his light bill back maybe a couple of days because he's waiting for his check to hit on Tuesday. He comes in and plays,
Yeah.
and he turns around and has a big 40 some odd yard touchdown, which goes back to what we're saying. With you need to get that disparaging. You need to run the ball more. So we got Rain throwing the ball 39 times. I
Mhm.
really want him at about 25. Want him at 25. And to do that, you want to be able to give more carries to Malik, give more carries to Hunter Lemke, and even give carries, man, to my man Cavante Turpin. Shout out to him, man, for my good, for
Hey,
being Johnny on the
hey,
spot.
Chris. Cavante
Hey,
Turpin
hey,
saved the game.
hey, man, he gets my honorable mention for good, man, because I'll own mine. We've been very very hard on him. Calling that man really, really small, but the guy was super duper fast to get there to get on that ball and make
Yep.
the play to save the football game. So
Mhm.
shout out to him. But I need my running game to be more diverse. I need to
Yep.
get at least 5 to 8 carries. Shoot, I'm even looking at 10 to Malik so that I can spell Javante because you got to remember that's 3 games in 11 days, 2-4, and you want to be able to keep him going in the right direction.
I agree, Chris. And that's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard to find someone that could do that. Because Malik Davis is he's kind of what he is at this point.
Right.
And the Cowboys know him. They always tell that man every year, don't get no lease nowhere, stay in the city, because
Yeah.
we back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that way for the
So we
last
we
4 years.
we might rent you out one of the spots that we got,
Exactly.
just so you ain't got to worry about paying that. But we're gonna keep you around. But the thing about it, I think he's earned the opportunity to be a roster guy. Yeah,
Sure,
you know what I'm saying.
sure, but how does that compare to the rest of the league? Like being for real, Malik Davis behind this running scheme is doing well, but you can't say that a different guy wouldn't do better. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like the Cowboys know who Malik is.
I mean, my thing is that regardless of how that looks, I'm looking at this year. I already know I need to upgrade my running back room in 2026. Right
Yep.
now, in this year, I need to be able to sustain my my running back room, so I don't become one dimensional in the pass game. I want to still be able to run the football well. So my ugly is that we haven't tried to figure out who's going to be my second guy, and
That's my
you know,
bad. That's actually
yeah,
my bad.
yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That was my okay, but my bad is just how we divvy up this running game. If I got to put Hunter Lipke back there, who I think has some juice, let Hunter run the football. If I got to put Malik back there for more, I got to do it, man. It's just to the point we got to be able to do certain things, man.
Yeah, yeah. Chris, you talked about your ugly. My ugly, if you remember last week, I talked about the slow start, and that was my bad. Chris, this week my ugly is getting off to these slow starts. You can't spot teams' points. You can't then allow teams to get a tud on top of spotting them points.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, that's that. I mean, I agree with you. That is ugly because you can't continue to do that. Coming and digging out of a hole every week is not the move.
Yeah,
yeah.
And the crazy thing is, sure, it's against the Chiefs, right? But the Chiefs ain't the normal Chiefs this year. Let's say you do that against the Patriots. Let's say you do that against the Rams. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No.
You can't do that against every team in the league.
Right. Absolutely right. You can't. So that's why I'm saying in the sense where we had the interception, we got down, but it's almost kind of like a boxer trying to figure out what they're gonna do. Yeah. So if I don't know what he's gonna do, or if I'm not sure what he's gonna do, you're trying to figure him out. But the thing about it is, once they do figure it out, once they do figure out what's going on, they're lights out after that. They shut people down. They are great. I mean, after the Chiefs got that 14-point lead and they figured out what they were going to do, they went 2 scoreless quarters.
Yeah,
2 scoreless quarters and made it to the point where the Chiefs were looking for answers. And then they turned around and had a little surge at the end. But we were far enough and we kept putting things together that we made it a 2-score game. So once we got the ball back, we could, kill the clock and win the game.
Yeah. But Chris, here's the thing though, man. We still got 4 games left to play?
No, we got 5.
5 games left to play.
Yeah.
How can you depend on that being a winnable strategy where you're giving teams 7, 10, 14 points, even 21 in the case of the Eagles? How can you depend on that being the strategy for these last 5 games?
I don't think it is. I don't think that's a strategy.
Chris, if you want to make the playoffs, Chris, how can you depend on that?
I don't think you make that your lifestyle or how you go about. You still got to remember these guys. This is the 3rd game these guys have played together. Mm-hmm. This isn't like the whole football team we've had all year. This is Quentin Williams' 3rd game. I mean, this is the crazy part. This is the ugly part for me. But I'll go. The ugly part is this is the first time in Quentin Williams' career in the NFL he's won 3 games in a row.
Ever.
And
it's a pro, Chris.
And it's a pro. Right. Being a guy that came from a winning program in college, like at Alabama, that dude said it's the first time I won 3 games in a row. So to me, I think they just only get better and better and better because they're starting to figure things out. So, hey, first game against the Raiders, that's kind of like a preseason scrimmage. Yeah. That's the 3rd, that's like the team getting together and having their inter squad scrimmages. You know what I'm saying? Playing against the Raiders.
So Chris, let me interrupt you for 2 seconds, right?
Go ahead.
In the chat box, Black 14D1, that's Shaheem. Today is Shaheem's birthday, Chris.
Man, man, shout out to my guy, man. Happy birthday, brother. And man, I will forever be grateful, forever thankful, man. So happy that you guys, drafted Quentin Williams and then was dumb enough to trade him to us. I'm gonna forever be grateful to you, man. You are my guy, man. You saved my season, man. Thank you and your organization, man. But happy birthday to you, big bro.
Mm-hmm. But Chris, please continue, bro. Please continue.
So what I'm saying is being my just being to the point of just having them continue to get better and better. This is only their 3rd time this is the 3rd game they put together. So you had the kind of the game against the Raiders, had some things there, had the same thing happen with the Eagles, and then had the same thing happen with the Chiefs. I think they're
Yeah.
going to be able to start making the moves to be able to get better and better down the stretch, which I'm going to need them next week when I play a very good Lions team that
Very
some
good.
people call America's team. Time to dispel that. Yeah, I know some people. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
and but go ahead and do that one. So you get the Lions, and then you get a team. Uh, you know, you turn around, you just worry about the next game because every game for us is a playoff game. So I get the Lions this week. I get a week to rest, and I figure out how to get that better of my slow starts and things of that nature.
But Chris, my issue is like on what I said on top of what you said, right? When we were going into this gauntlet, we were talking about like, especially after the Eagles game. Okay, we can do whatever against anybody. You know what I'm saying? And now here we are talking about, okay, now we can carry this on into the Lions game as if the Chiefs aren't who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, Chris, you watch The Wire a lot. Marlo said, "My name is my name."
My name is my name. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
the Pat is Pat. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
why do we have to treat this game as if it's like against as if it's like a builder, like a bankroll builder against the Chiefs because they're 500, even though they are the Chiefs at the end of the day? Why do we have to treat that game like it's a stepping stone?
I mean, I treat it as a stepping stone for me is because you want to beat good football teams. That's something that this team has not done on a regular basis. We've beaten the people in our division, which we expect to do. We've beaten the lower tier teams that are in our conference, because we expect to do that. We're supposed to beat the Carolinas this year. We hadn't. Supposed to beat
Yeah,
the Bears, but we hadn't
yeah.
because those teams are
That's
better.
our game.
But better. Right. But to go up and beat teams like the Chiefs in your building, big time moments, that's what you want to have happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a stepping stone in the right direction for our defense. That's how I look at it. A team as a whole to be cohesive enough to start going forward. That's what you need to be able to do and
Yeah.
knock them off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was how I felt about that.
Okay, I get it and I understand, but it's like, despite the record, you know what I'm saying? The Chiefs are still the Chiefs.
Right.
So it frustrates me a little bit when people talk about, oh, the Cowboys beat another 500 team, because Andy Reid is still Andy Reid. Pat Mahomes is still Pat Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's one of those things that frustrates me.
I
Because
mean, what's tell me what's frustrating. Tell me what's frustrating you.
it frustrates me because the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, man. Like
Okay.
like you like people talk about like teams that you beat based on their record. And a lot of times that doesn't apply to some of these teams like the Chiefs because their record doesn't tell the whole story. You know what I'm saying? Pat is still the second best quarterback that I have ever seen since Tom
Okay.
Brady.
Right.
So we can't treat them like they are like the Carolina Panthers, who are a 500 team.
But the thing about it goes back to what Madden used to always say. Your record is what your record says you are, and
Sure.
they have been a middle of the road team. Now, do we know that they have great players? Absolutely,
Yeah,
we know
it's
they got great
Pat
players. We
Mahomes
know
is
they
still
have a great
Pat Mahomes,
yeah,
Chris.
huh?
I said Pat Mahomes is still Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, he's still Pat Mahomes, but what that just goes to show you is that your defense has gotten so much better. Your team as a whole has risen to the occasion to be able to be on par with those teams. I'm not
Yeah,
taking anything away from them, in the sense that they may be down this year. They still brought in a healthy Pat Mahomes. They still brought in Hollywood Brown. They brought in Rasheed Rice. They brought in all their guys. They brought Chris Jones and everybody. It wasn't like they came here depleted. They
no,
came here as a team, and you
yeah,
were just able to put the pause on them. You were able to be a better football team, put in for 60 minutes. So it's no
and
knock on them. Maybe I think what you're referring to is that, well, people are saying, oh well, the Chiefs are who they were. This is the football team that you expected us to be. We had to go out here and start beating these teams that were quote unquote upper echelon teams or upper tier teams. We did that. Now it's just continue to put this thing together.
Yeah.
The thing what for us in Cowboy Nation, you want the sustained thing throughout the whole season. Well, maybe you don't get that. Maybe you get it the middle to the end of the year, but it gets you to where you want to be in the big picture of the playoffs and things of that nature. You got to remember, shoot, the Giants won the Super Bowl, I think, in '97. They won the Super Bowl in '97 one year. You know what I'm saying, for their regular season, and went on a tear through the
He,
playoffs to go, yeah, to win the Super Bowl.
he one of
Huh?
those Eli years.
Yeah, it was Eli's year. So it doesn't matter. You know what we want our team? We want our team to be good after Thanksgiving. We've
Yeah.
always had a really good team before
That,
Thanksgiving.
you have preached that, Chris, since me and you have started working together.
That's it, bro.
After Thanksgiving, that's when guys get back from injury. They get a little bit of turkey in their system.
Right? And right, and you start seeing guys start making plays. So I need my football team to start, gelling and come together like the stuffing does in the oven and getting to the next level in the second half of the season.
Shaheen, appreciate you stopping by, bro. I'm gonna
Thanks,
see you
man.
later. I'm gonna see
No
you
doubt.
later. Don't even worry about that. But Chris, like, I feel like recently, over the last 3 games, that defensive bend but don't break philosophy that Eberflus wanted to really get in has started to manifest itself.
Yeah.
Especially in the second and third quarters. You know what I'm saying? Because after they gave up 14 points to the Chiefs, they allowed only 7 points across like 40 minutes of football.
Yeah, they turned around. Yeah, they turned the second and third quarters. They were scoreless. They gave up 14 points in the fourth quarter, but you had already built a substantial enough lead and got this game out of reach where when they scored that second touchdown, which a lot of that stuff was kind of fluky, but you turned around. Once you got the ball back, you were able to sustain the drives and do the certain things you need to do to kill the clock so that you could, walk this and get up out of here at this with a dub against a very, very good football team. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It was a growing experience. You see the team continue to grow and get better. And this is what we definitely been wanting to see. So now we look forward, and we'll probably talk about the Lions here probably on Monday or Tuesday about who they are and what we expect to see, and the injury reports and things of that nature. And right now, man, hey, bring them on, bro, bring them on, because I'm just ready to see this defense get better, this team get better, and this team continue to progress in the right way.
Absolutely. Chris, another thing that frustrated me is, and I kind of brought this up a little bit when I brought up like George Pickens and all of that. Man, the good thing about having two number one receivers is that if one guy has a off day, you can depend on the other day. Chris, on Thursday was CeeDee Lamb's day. Bro had that 51-yard bomb, that tomahawk missile later on
Right.
in the day. And plus a multitude of other games. Other gains. Excuse me. CeeDee Lamb finished the day like I said before with 7 receptions, 112 yards, and a TD. What do you have to say to the people that wanted to get rid of Lamb after this year, or said that Lamb wasn't our number one anymore, or any of those other disparaging comments?
I don't listen to those people because I know those people don't know football. I know that CD, and we had talked about it in depth. I think he just had to get it out of his head. He had to realize who he was. Rain Dakota Prescott, and who said he is the guy. I expect him to go do certain things. There was no kind of animosity in the locker room between him and GP. Those guys understand they work together well. I don't have to do it all by myself. One day it's going to be my day. Next day may be his. But he was locked in. He was locked in from the start. Made a great catch. That touchdown was a beautiful adjustment on the football. And, the route was insane how he got free. And the stutter go that he got. But it was just... No, I'm talking about the touchdown route where he did a stutter step, froze him, gave the guy the stutter go, and just was so wide open. And just made a great catch. And he was just locked in. It was a day for him to, really get after it. So I wasn't worried about that. I knew he would bounce back. Now I just want them to continue to build on consistency. What I want to be able to see one day is when both of them are getting down and they both kicking it like that. And
I
then
mean, for what it's worth, Chris, though, both of them did have a decent last 2 weeks. Like George Pickens went off for that 149 last week, and then CD Lamb had like 78 yards. Then CD Lamb go off for 112, and George Pickens had like 68 or like 80
right,
some yards or
yeah.
whatever. So
I just
as
want
much as
both.
you say you want both of them to go off, both of them have still had games the
I
last two
mean,
weeks.
like we just alluded to before, you got one guy that's over 1,000 who this is his career year for going
Yeah,
for passing yards. You got our other guy who's right on track, who's been hurt, who's going to have another 1,000 yard season after missing like what two, but what 3 4 games. We get 4 games with high ankle sprain, so they just goes to show you the weaponry that's at the disposable for Dak Prescott and how he's able to use it correctly. Like I said, these next 5 games, you're going to have teams still perplexed to say, okay, who do we double? And this is what
yeah,
we've been always wanting to have. Who do you pick your poison? Okay, I'm gonna stop George. Okay, then CD's gonna go off. Hey, I'm gonna stop CD. Then George goes off, and then the
yep,
running game continues to get better. My biggest thing, like I said, as we've been talking here, man, is uh, outside of enjoying the win and nitpicking the things that were bad and ugly. I still see this team gelling and being a contender in the NFC. I really
yeah,
see it as I see, the people in Philadelphia start to regress, which I figured that they normally. I didn't expect them to be doing it this badly, where you got,
no,
their content creators talking about firing people and all that kind of stuff. I
benching the
just want to
quarterback,
make
benching the
come,
Super Bowl MVP quarterback. Oh my goodness.
hey man, you got them in disarray over there. But I
Yeah,
do see things kind of the power shifting a little bit. I think the teams that you were thinking were going to be run away with this thing aren't, and this thing's a little bit closer. Teams that you didn't think were going to be there, they are. So
yep.
I still think you put yourself in a good position as your defense starts to get better. You start finding Jeff Heath type numbers for
I
everybody on
I
the defense. Hey, hold
I
up, though. Hold up, though. Hold up, though. And hear me out. I know I've been hearing a lot of goat hate these
yeah,
last couple
yeah.
of weeks from you, but I'm starting to see the numbers I need to do with people on defense to get the most out of my defense. Like yeah, looking at 55. Okay, he's probably he's an upgrade over Kenneth Murray. He is. Kenneth
Yep,
Murray is closer to the 15 snaps than 25, right? and
yep.
and he and then but Overshown is moving his numbers up, but Logan Wilson is right at that Jeff Heath number. He's right at that 25-30 clip for having him on the field. You know what I'm saying? And then as I build this thing out, I'm starting to see things come together. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, yeah. I think that especially if you look at this linebacker room, where there's been a lot of contention over this
Hmm.
year. Yeah, we do have to find a soft spot for who can get the most carries, how many excuse me, not carries but snaps, how many snaps they have per game, et cetera, because Logan Wilson, who was a trade that I thought would always be for the future, he still doesn't look like he's all the way back yet physically.
Right, right. That's what I'm saying, yo. I don't
And
think.
I have to
Go ahead.
give you, I got to give you credit, Chris, because you are the guy that always says a ACL, a knee injury, any lower body injury is a 12 to
18 months.
18 month injury.
Yep. Yep.
So while Logan Wilson's football mind might be there, his body can't keep up yet.
Yeah,
Um,
you could see that on that one play where Pat dumped it off to Kareem
yeah,
Hunt, and we know Kareem
exactly.
Hunt isn't a burner, but Wilson doesn't have that extra gear just yet to get out there and close that play down. And that's a
Yeah,
play where honestly you would want a Miroslav foul with his young fast self out there. You
yeah.
want Demond Overshown running that down, which he's been playing
He's
amazingly well.
he's still not even yet in that timeline that you just
Right. He's not he isn't even to the 12-month window. So you
yeah.
can imagine next year Wilson and Overshown in that 18-month window of being back. You
Yeah.
add another linebacker to add to this thing. That linebacker room here's the crazy part. The linebacker room may turn around and be your strength next year.
I gotta see it, Chris. I gotta see it
Okay.
for
All
real
right.
because for 2 years now, I I've long said that, man. I just don't see it with this linebacker room, and I hate that I've been right. I hate that I've been right both all seasons. Not even in the middle of the season, both all seasons. June, July type timeline.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
but what? Yeah.
So sure, maybe in the future the linebacker room might be, saying a strength of this defense. But right now, Chris, I gotta see it before I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, you're just trying to sit up and say, hey, how does it navigate to as you build it? But like I said, if you're looking at that 12, 18-month window, Overshown will be in the 18-month window right around June, July of next year.
Yeah.
Wilson will be in that 18-month window right around that same time. Yeah. You put those two together, Louis Fowl a whole year with one defensive coordinator, understand everything he does. You add another body, Elijah, not Elijah Clark. Oh my gosh, I'm missing on his name right now. But you still turn around, you have another linebacker. Shamar James will have a whole year inside this system, and I think they'll be better. I think you add another body to it, and that might end up being a strength. But as for these last 5 to 8 games, notice I said 8 games. I still want those guys to continue to work together and get better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Shaheem said no. Sean Barber, said Murray gave up the Kelsey touchdown on the 4th and 2.
Absolutely right. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So you kind of want to keep his snaps, Sean, down to 10 to 15 snaps. You want to keep, and then you want to keep my upper level snaps of 25 to 30 to Wilson, 25 to 30 with Overshown, 25 to 30 with Louis Fowl. And then, trying to spread, because you're looking at about 60, 65 snaps, but I want to keep those guys in that wheelhouse that I can be able to do certain things. But the way the defense has been playing, man, they've been, even though Pat had a great statistical game and did have the 4 touchdowns, it wasn't like to the point where we're sitting there like, oh my God, they can't stop them. They were making them work, which is a benefit to our side because now the offense gets to be on the side longer. They get to be rested. And so when they get out there, they can do certain things to go forward.
So let me ask you this, Chris, because at the moment, I feel like our linebacker room is like the weakest area of our defense. I feel like our cornerbacks are okay. And if we get Diggs back and when we get Diggs back, they're going to be even more okay, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think
what do you do moving forward?
What you do? I mean, what you talking about with the linebacker room?
Yeah.
I mean, you keep it the way it is. You continue to let them continue to play and get better and understand what they can do with this core guys. Like I said, this is still their 3rd game of being there. This is the 3rd game of Wilson being there, Logan Wilson being there. So you're to the point of alongside Overshown. Yeah, with Overshown. So this is their 3rd game back. So like I said, you're going to use these next 5 games, a total of 8, to kind of get an idea what they can do, them getting better and supplementing where you need to supplement along the way.
Okay. Sean then responded, I want all that was more mental than physical. I feel Logan gets the mental better. Absolutely. Logan Wilson. So, Sean, I personally haven't seen you in that chat box before. If you've been there, I apologize, right? But weeks ago, I said, I don't feel like Kenneth Murray knows how to play football for real anymore. Logan Wilson at least understands the game. His body just hasn't caught up yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yes, Logan Wilson 100% gets the game better than Kenneth Murray.
Yeah.
100%. But I have subscribed to the Set It Off Chris. To the Set It Off Chris. I had a little list there, a timeline of recovery. 12 to 18 months. Logan Wilson is barely 12 months in right now as far as recovery from his lower body injuries from last year.
Yeah.
He might not be able to move like he really can until next year. Now, thankfully, the Cowboys got him under contract next year. But yeah, like I said this when we traded for him, this was a next year injury because Christopher Wright too many times. Christopher Wright too many times for me to go against him at this point.
Well, I mean, I just like you said, Sean, it's to the point. I want to see him. I want to see him doing certain things, but I just want them to it's still just a progression for me, and I'm still in the early stages of what this defense can do. Now
Mhm.
going into the next 3 games, I want to see him to start off faster, not give up more points, and then start having some other people start showing different phases of what they can do. You got to remember, Siobhan Rebels. This is his first 3 games.
Yeah.
Kalen Carson. I don't know if he even came back. That he can play a lot of snaps. I need him back. If I get
Mhm.
Diggs back, I get to change the dynamic of my secondary room. So it's a lot. It's a lot to look forward to going forward and being a good compared to being a bad and things of that nature.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Chris, the Cowboys play the Lions next week, who are just coming off a loss to the Packers.
Yeah,
Um, do you feel the same level of comfort that you did against the Chiefs that you do against the Lions?
say it again.
Do you feel the same level of comfort, even
Oh,
going into the Chiefs game? We both said, man, we can beat the Chiefs. Do
I
you
think
feel
I
that
can.
way
Yeah,
against the Lions?
yeah. I don't think there's a team on our schedule we can't beat right now. I think we can
Mm,
beat anybody. I think they've got some banged up guys, but I just see my offensive line giving. See, here's the other part we didn't even talk about, man.
mm.
We didn't even have our starting left tackle out there, and
Yep.
Nate Thomas played exceptionally well. So I think you turn around, you go into this game. I don't feel like I'm so, oh my God, this is the big bad wolf. I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna run the football, but I'm really good at stopping the run. I've got enough. I can get enough pressure to throw golf off. I don't think
Yep.
there's so far ahead that they're going to kill me. I don't think
Mhm.
Laporta is playing, so that gives me an advantage where I don't have a dynamic tight end that I got to deal with. I
Yep.
got to deal with their outside guys. But if Sun God St. Brown isn't playing, that gives me an
Yeah.
advantage there.
He's likely not playing either.
So if that's the case, I get them at a Hanford State.
Mhm.
Um, and I think Rain is playing the game at such a high level right now that we can get the advantage here. I don't fear anybody right now. I really
And, and
don't.
and I know that this is early, Chris, right? Because we got to do one, maybe two more videos on the Lions. Saying as a team. B Bird, what's going on, bro?
Big bro, what's
Appreciate
going on, man? Happy
you chatting
Thanksgiving to you, big guy. Thanks for
up.
following up with
Hope
us, man. Hey, we gotta get. Hey, we gotta hit you up, man. We gotta catch up with you for next week, bro.
yeah.
So just be on the lookout.
If you can get up with us next week, please let me know. Hit me in the DM like you always do. We can figure that out. All right.
No doubt.
Um, Chris, I've told you time and time again. I feel like Jameer Gibbs is my best running back in the league. Personally, that's who I feel like is the best running back in the league is Jameer Gibbs. Do you think that that's a running game that
We
we are prepared to stop?
I think there's not a running game on the league. We're not prepared to stop right now. I think with the
Explain why.
way, huh? Well,
Okay,
because I think because of the 3-headed monster that you have with Quentin Williams, um, Osa Digizua, and Kenny Clark. Man, I think that just makes it uh really tough to run inside on us. And then with the reemergence of Jadeveon Clowney on the end being that big pass rushing in, but being relentless and savvy and knowing what he's doing, I think our
Mhm.
defensive line makes it really hard. Now, Javier is going to be a problem. I'm not sitting
Yeah,
here saying, "Oh, we're going to shut him out." He's going
yeah,
to be an absolute problem. But I think we'll deep dive into it later on this week and definitely get back to the people
yeah.
and give our insight on what we see.
So you mentioned Jameer Gibbs and all of that, but we also have to deal with like the likes of Aiden Hutchinson. One of those things that really got me feeling confident, you know what I'm saying, is the fact that Chris Jones really didn't have a day.
No, we did really well on the inside with him. But like I said, our guards and our guards situation is so dynamic and really starting to come together and gel to the point that you can handle that interior stuff.
Yeah.
But outside,
You had
we did
Karloftis, who
we did
also we clamps, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. I mean, Terrence. As much as we want to bang on Terrence, there's a couple weeks back, people were talking about cut Terrence. Terrence has started to step up, do certain
Yeah,
things, but it's also the different ways that we've deployed the line, or
yeah,
sent schemes, or sent stunts, or whenever we rolled Rain outside the pocket, we were able to get him protected, put guys out there to protect him. It's
yeah,
really helped out. So that's the one thing with Javante with his pass blocking ability, Lipke with his ability to chip. Brevin Stanford Ford with his ability to be a big body and chip and get out in the pass. We've got some bodies to be able to do that, so we're able to
yeah.
protect. So we're gonna walk into this game feel really comfortable. with our guys, and they just continue to stack days on days. I'm not afraid of the Lions defensive line as much as I was last year. This year I don't feel the same way.
Because we beat them last year, or was it year before last year we beat them?
No, we didn't beat them. We didn't beat them. They came in the Cowboys Stadium and put
It
on
was
a
year
show.
before last year we beat them then, right?
It was year before
2023.
last. It was year before last we beat them. It was controversial. But last year when they came in here, man, they put a show on. They embarrassed us in our building last year.
So we got Fred Johnson in the chat. Say what's up, Fred.
Big Fred, Big Fred, what's up, baby?
But then Sean asked the question of, have you noticed Clowney doesn't give on a play at 32 that runs off in the other players? Um, maybe your English is a little broke up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not quite sure I understand the question. But one thing that I can say about Clowney, um, he's historically for elite years been the guy that doesn't attend training camp, right? He's like he's the mercenary of the league right now, especially when it comes to edge rushers.
I just think
Um,
he go ahead.
so I think that right now, Clowney's in that space, especially for the last like two, maybe three games, maybe three, where he's gotten all of the rust knocked off. Because since he has historically been a guy that doesn't go to training camp, that doesn't have that practice and all of that in the summertime, he has to knock all of that off mid-season. We
Yeah,
didn't sign Clowney until like 3 weeks in.
yeah.
Um,
But go ahead. Go ahead. Do you think?
so what that means is it's going to be a while before he becomes the Jadeveon Clowney that we're used to, right? And now I think he's that guy, and people are kind of like, oh my goodness, look how well Clowney's doing. When that's been him for a little while. It just takes a couple games each season for him to get back into it.
I think he's historically maybe a 6 to 8 game year guy, 6 to 8 sacks, and he's moving in that direction. He had two on last week, which is
Yeah,
he's getting back into where he's supposed to be. He's getting to where he's supposed to be, and so it's definitely, he's trending in the right directions. And I need him for this last 6 to 8 games, 6 to 9 games to move in that
yeah.
direction. Yep.
Okay. So Sean kind of clarified a little bit. He said he doesn't give up on plays, and it rubs
Yeah.
off on the others.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he does do
100.
that. He does. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of effort sacks, um, going on. It was definitely a lot of effort sacks going on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's one of those things. Yeah.
And you want to know the player that I think that has rubbed off the most on, especially after Clowney like became himself. It's been a guy that I've had a lot of anger for over the last say a few weeks. Sam Williams.
Oh yeah, Sam Williams has been playing extremely hard, giving
Yeah,
max effort, doing a lot of the little things that
yeah,
show that he's moving in that direction, or maturing in the way we want him to. He
yeah.
may have saved his job. Maybe he may be able to get another contract. Maybe a
I hope
little
so.
2 year, two
I hope
years, yeah, 2 year, 3 year deal. But he's not a guy that I'm definitely relying on. That's
yeah.
what he can do. So if he can turn into in his second contract, Jadeveon Clowney like by making effort plays and maybe getting some sacks. But the way Clowney's playing, he's playing really, really well. It's just everybody starting to feel or kind of get into certain things
Yeah,
a certain kind of way because they have the emphasis on the interior, which makes it a
mhm,
little bit easier for the outside guys.
yeah. But
Yep,
but at the same time, that helps everyone in the defense. Chris,
true.
Chris, I asked you this after we beat the Eagles. What is the fastest point between? What is the fastest route between 2 points? It's a
Straight
straight
line.
line. Straight
Straight line.
line. So if
Yep,
you the quarterback the fastest, your fastest route to get to that quarterback is your guy that's right in front of him. Not
absolutely.
necessarily like your edges kind of got to go around a little bit.
Yep,
If you can get a guy that can apply pressure directly in front of the quarterback, Chris, that's gonna make everyone's job easier. Not
no
just your
doubt.
edge rushers, but your linebackers, your DBs, everyone. So
Yep.
yes, Sam Williams has been propelling himself a little bit higher, but I think that comes as a result of the way that your D tackle room is playing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just all coming together, and I think Eberflus has gotten the pieces he's needed to really deploy his defense a certain kind of way. Now you start seeing him doing some more man stuff. He's able to do more man stuff because he's able to get pressures. It builds on things. I can get pressure with four, or I can get pressure with this fifth. I can move this guy here, and I can do certain things with my secondary. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all
yeah,
coming together.
absolutely. Fred was talking about how Gibbs is concerned, not only in the run game, but also as a receiving back. Um, Fred, peep into us on I want to say Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because now also pop into us on Monday because we're gonna talk about the rest of the league and things that we learned around the NFL after this week. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. We're gonna talk about how the Cowboys can win against the Lions. So definitely tap in on this, Dan, bro. But yeah, like I said, Gibbs, in my opinion, is the best running back in the league. So yeah, we can definitely see some issues against him. Tap into us in the future to learn how I feel that way. Chris, the Cowboys once again stopped a team that did have a lot to lose. We managed to stop their running game. Why do you think that is? And do you think that that's something that we can keep up?
You talking about this week, or you talking about? Oh, you talking about for the Lions?
No, against the Chiefs.
I mean, like I said, the defense has just gotten better and better. I think they've given up 68 yards per game the last 3 weeks. So it's just to the point they're better at the personnel they have enables them to do certain things a whole lot better. So I mean, it's just them all buying in collectively. Quinn Williams being the centerpiece and focal piece, and to the point that Kenny Clark is able to do what he does. He is a good defensive tackle. He's not a superior defensive tackle.
Yeah.
So that just helps. Better players are able to make plays. Like they always said, when you have better players, it makes the coaches look a whole lot smarter because you just got better players.
Yeah. I think at a certain point, if you give a coach a certain level of players, it makes their job easier. Remember for weeks we talked about how Schottenheimer, he just wasn't getting across to the players with his scheme and things like that. But man, Chris, you get Shoddy some not Shoddy, Eberflus some players. Man.
That's always been the case. But that's what I mean, but that goes back to what we said before. He needed players, and he didn't have the players on his roster to be able to implement his defense. Now that he does, he's able to keep pushing forward, man. He's able to keep making the adjustments he needs to make, putting the guys there that we needed. And we all said the Cavalry was on the way after Thanksgiving. So you still got a second phase because you got
Chris, I got to give you the credit, Chris. You led the charge, saying, "Hey, man, Thanksgiving or later, that's where guys are gonna be at." Well, nobody said that before.
Yeah, just get guys back. So now you got an addition of hopefully getting Diggs back. Revel's starting to round out. You'll find out what you got with Carson. And you've got some other surprising players. I think it's number 27. I think it's Reddy. Is that his last name?
Reddy Stewart.
Yeah, Reddy Stewart. You got Reddy Stewart playing. He's actually out there making plays. So let's just continue to get stacking days, getting people back. Hooker's starting to play. We're gonna get Wanye back later. Donovan Wilson is playing where he's best by keeping the ball in front of him and moving forward. So it's going to just play itself out. So now we just got to figure out how to get a second complimentary back, and this defense to keep clicking on all cylinders. Like I said, man, this thing is a war of attrition. You're trying to get to 18, 19, 20 games, and you're going to have several people help you along the way to do that. So shout out to the Nate Thomases, the Malik Davises, the Ryan Flournoys, cats like that, man, that have been contributing in games and helping us get wins as we try to get this thing built out so we can get to our main guys.
Mm-hmm. Chris, and this is this is a question that I don't know the answer to just yet. Fred in the chat asked, "What's up with Butler, Josh Butler?" Because Chris, yesterday, Josh Butler tweeted that he's been ready since week 6 and he just patiently waiting and things like that. I haven't asked what's going on with Josh Butler yet. Like I've been saying before, Chris, my phone ain't golden, but it's like stainless steel. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I can ask. Did you know? Well, not even did you know, Chris? I'm I'm still like kind of old. So like I watch these content creator pages on like Facebook and Instagram and all that. And it turns out this one person who broadcasts like both of their dogs and do things with that. I didn't know that was Josh Butler.
What you mean by that?
Because I watch this. I watch these like little reels or shorts on Facebook and stuff like that on Instagram.
Right.
Is this dude who be playing with his dogs? I just learned today. I'm talking about a couple hours ago that was Josh Butler.
Hey, listen, because you don't care about him playing with his dogs. You want him in a uniform outside doing what he needs to do and defending passes. Mm-hmm. So that's what you're looking forward to seeing them doing. So we might have to tap into the plug, find out what's going on with Josh, find out what's going on with how this room is going to settle out. But like I said, going into that, you can do that, and then we find out how we got to get to the point of find out what the situation with Diggs is and how this defensive back room is going to round out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I do think that Josh Butler will probably help a little bit. Like I've seen Josh Butler play, so I got a little bit more faith in what he has shown me compared to what like Reddy Stewart has shown me this year. Josh played really good last year, but Reddy Stewart has been taking advantage of his opportunities. So if he continues to build on taking advantage of his opportunities, and like I said, this whole room is a room in the making. So let's just continue to watch them keep it going. That's what we're looking at. We're just continue to keep it going and keep building. That's what we want to see happen. Will Jones in the chat said the refs came through for us. Will, here's what I have to say to that. Coming into this game, the Cowboys were the most penalized team in the league. We'll see if that remains to be the fact afterwards. But why is it that, and Chris, I'm not asking you this question, I'm asking Will this question. Why is it that when the Cowboys have a week where we have gotten 10 penalties, because that has happened multiple times this year, it's just like, oh, you're undisciplined, etc. But when the other team gets multiple penalties against the Cowboys benefit from that, then it's the refs came through for us. Why is that, Will? I just want to know. I just want to know because coming into this week, the Cowboys led the league with 94 penalties. Number one in the league. Not number two, not number three. We were top one. So why is it that a week where the other team actually has more penalties than the Cowboys, then it's like the refs helped us out?
I mean, either it's a fickle. Here's my answer to it. Sometimes there's holdings on every play. There's things that they could have called against, them that they didn't. But for the most part, it was a pretty clean game. For the most part. McDuffie had his problems, but he was dealing with CD Lamb. CD Lamb makes guys look bad. So it's, that's how it is, man. I'm just fortunate that whatever penalties we did make, we were able to overcome them. We were able to fight through it and get through it and get the dub in this game. But we're going to have to continue that trend of not making mistakes, self-inflicting wounds that hurt us and make us have to fight longer than we have to fight out there on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Man, that was one of those things that was confusing to me over the last 2 weeks. We beat some teams that are like in the spotlight, saying they're in the mix. Like the Eagles are a spotlight team. The Chiefs are a spotlight team. And so when we beat them, it's like, okay, what you guys have had to, talking about, when I say you guys, I'm talking about the Cowboys, have had to overcome, don't really matter. The refs say some mean things to us and hurt our feelings, and so all the refs are helping you guys. When if you look at the narrative over the last few years, man, the narrative is that the refs help the Eagles, that the refs help the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So, even early this year with the tush push.
Yeah, but I think you still go back to what you're saying, just Cowboys related. Whenever they have, because they are number one, that means it looks like we're undisciplined. So last couple of weeks we haven't had that happen. We've been able to work through those different things, those scenarios, but then we have been making those mistakes. We've been able to overcome them. But you don't want to continue to make those kind of mistakes against the level of competition we're going to be playing in the next couple of weeks. So it shined on us one day, but it can turn around and bite us in the behind the next day. So let's just continue to process and get better in those different areas.
Chris, now that the Eagles have lost against the Bears, got whooped against the Bears, excuse me, let me word it that way. The Cowboys are now 1.5 wins away from leading the division. You think that's something we could take?
Honestly, all I care about is just the next game. I'm not worrying about trying to catch anybody. I'm just trying to every day keep stacking days and get through the lines. Once I get through the lines, I'll let it play out the way I let it play out. Let it fall apart on their side of the fence. I just want to make sure I'm building my fence the right way. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So I mean, just let me keep stacking days.
Is every week we 0-0.
Right.
That's how you feel.
I just want to go 1-0. Yeah, I just want to go 1-0.
Okay.
So if I continue to keep stacking days, let me get through these. Let me get through next week, and then I may peak over the way. But until right now, I'm just gonna stay focused on what I gotta stay focused on.
Okay, I get it. Chris, we've been here for an hour. Anything else you gotta say to the people?
Man, listen, man. Thanks for rocking with us, man. We were trying to be on here yesterday. Like I said, life is life, but I appreciate all you guys. If this is your first time coming in, kicking with us, thank you for stopping by, popping through, dropping questions. Please make sure you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you find, we love for the interaction during the live streams, but we have no problem with interacting in the chat when y'all put them in later on for other shows. So go check out some of our other shows. Make sure you check out our reels, man. But more importantly, man, tell people, man, frankly, football is out here talking that Dallas Cowboy talk on a regular basis.
Yeah. Chris, one thing you always put on Twitter and on Facebook, when we put out a video, you be like, you like I said, Chris, you love the wire. You put the Avon meme to be like, tell the streets we back up.
Oh, tell the streets we back up, man.
Hey,
tell we ready to put in that work. We always ready to put in that work. So hey man, we got the best product. We got the towers. We messing around. We got the red tops. We running these corners, and we just out here doing our thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And we just want to make sure y'all plug in, get the best, get some of the best dope Cowboy content out here in these streets, man, and just keep helping us grow to where we're trying to get to. We're trying to steadily grow to our goal. We're going to get to our goal. We're going to keep professing it, and we're going to definitely keep pushing toward that. So we just like for you to help us in that process.
That's right. Sean, hey, much love to you too, brother. Much love
my
to
guy.
You. Hey, we appreciate you checking in. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, man.
Chris always says that he's like the sidekick and things like that. I think that Chris deserves much more credit. You know what I'm saying? If I was Avon Barksdale, Chris.
I'm Stringer Bell. Yeah, I'm Stringer. But no, I can't be Stringer, man, because I ain't gonna sell you out. I ain't gonna kill Neff.
Chris is Weebay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll take the murders. I'll take the murders, man. Just make sure you give me another soda and another crab cake sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
Yeah.
But guys, you know what I'm saying? Like Chris said, I need you to do 4 things for us. I need you to like, comment, share, subscribe. In the chat box, I want you to say what was the thing that you was most thankful for over Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving,
no doubt,
really a week away. Not even a week away at this point. So yeah, we gonna be back in the next couple of days to talk about what we learned around the league over week 13. We probably gonna do that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. We're gonna talk about how the Cowboys can beat the Detroit Lions in week 14. Right?
Yep. We'll rock that and do that and go from there.
Absolutely. So, like I said, guys, you know what I'm saying? Chris is the hitter out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the guy to make sure that he get the work done. And together we make Frankly Football. So until next time, peace.